Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to discuss very brief introduction to one of the topic of our agenda, that is basic statistics. Right? For those who are joining for the first time or new people, I have already created one video for my introduction, but this is just a slide. I am sharing it over here to understand who am I and what are my educational and um, qualification and what are the experiences level I have. Okay, I have total 22 years of industry experience. Okay, and I mean, you can definitely go for that earlier video. And after that, we have already created one video for explaining the curriculum details about the course and all. And after that, I have also explained how to download R and Python, because these are the tools these are the statistical tools we are going to use, so to say, in that angle. Okay, because these are the languages basically, but and they can be utilized for any other purposes as well. But then we are going to learn R and Python from the statistical level of understanding, or so to say, data science or machine learning related understanding. Right? So this is going to be our entire agenda, wherein we are going to cover statistical analysis, data mining supervised learning, data mining unsupervised learning, machine learning, text mining, and NLP, and then we are going to learn forecasting. Right? So these are the broader categories of the curriculum agenda, and I have already created one video to explain about the curriculum details and all. Right? So we will learn, I will show you, these are the details which I'm going to cover in our course. Right? So definitely there will be introduction to data, what is data science, what is machine learning, introduction to R and Python with the basics. So when I am saying over here, I have already created one video how to download R and Python, but this is going to be another separate topics, wherein we are going to discuss how to write our basics of R and Python codes, just to get acquainted with R and Python. So to say again, let me say over here, we are going to learn them only from the perspective of data science and machine learning. Right? Then we will learn basic statistics, which we are going to do today, probability, normal distribution, z distribution, t distribution, etc., and then hypothesis testing, what is p-value, etc., etc. All that curriculum agenda. A complete video has been made on this particular agenda topics. Right? So let us move ahead and start discussing about our first agenda topic, and that is basic statistics. And within that, first of all, we are going to understand what is data. Right? So these are the different, what you can say, are points which we are going to learn. Right? So definitely we will look into data types first. What is data? Then data types, and then their data types preliminaries. So for this particular video, we will discuss only about data, data types, and its preliminaries. Right? Maybe in second video. So because there are, see, look at that, there are 5 points, and it's going to consume a lot of time, because a lot of discussion required over here, a lot of explanation about the things. And as I said and keep saying that this is definitely probably not for the people who are already into the IT industry and working on softwares and software programming is all, because there is a lot of misconception within the market that or within the society that, or within the industry, so to say, that data science or machine learning or artificial intelligence or deep learning can be only learned by the people who are technically sound, or having some technological background, maybe who have already worked in IT industry, maybe who are expert in so to say programming and all. No, 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 it's not like that, because here there are different roles actually. Within this industry there are different roles. Some may be very much capable of writing codes and their focus area will be only that. Some may be very good in describing things and their focus area will be only to describe something. Some may be very good at problem finders, to do the prescriptive analysis. So they will search on what is exactly the problem, they will understand it, they will communicate it with the people who are very good in describing those problems. Okay, and then ultimately the people who are expert in coding and all, they will solve those problems by using the languages. So I'm going to cover the entire this life cycle from project understanding to project delivery. But in this entire thing, I mean, this I just said it in maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds. But in that entire thing, there are a lot of roles, lot of job profiles are being created. So this particular program, which I am going to conduct, it's going to help to all those people, whether he is a fresher person or whether he is having a 20 years experience or maybe 30 years experience. There are participants in my programs who have been working for a particular domain or different domains, maybe altogether total experience combining to almost 20 years or 25 years, working as doctors, working as maybe managing directors of the company, CEOs of the company, CFOs of the company. They worked a lot, and whatever level they have reached till now, they must be happy. But then the thing is that the entire requirements within the job market is changing. The industrial requirement is changing, and that is also called as industrial revolution, and we are actually into industrial revolution 4.0. I will talk on that topic as well when time permits and time comes, right? So the channel has been created just to accommodate or to, I would not say teach, because teaching is over when we completed our basic level of education, like graduation and all. I mean, that level, up to that level teaching is required. After that, maybe training, coaching. Recently, if you see, when Ravi Shastri joined, and there was this debate going on for Indian team, whether to appoint a coach or a trainer or a manager. So Ravi Shastri chosen managing director. So he is a director now for the team. Eventually he is doing all those roles, or he has kept people, or there are people working for him. But eventually he is also getting into the field and training, maybe, or telling maybe Suresh Raina or maybe in past probably some other experienced guys how to play a cover drive. Because what happens when you get into the role, at times you tend to not forget, but you some thoughts, some you are into a different mood altogether. So the person who is having that experience is important. So point over here is, here no matter whether you are a fresher person or no matter where you are a learned enough person or experienced person, I am going to take care of all that with this discussion, because I am specialized in this discussion or champion in this discussion. I have already taken more than 25 programs like this, and I have already trained, I would say, or I would say rather, I would already discussed all this subject with more than hundreds of participants, something like 400 plus or so. But then, yeah, coming back to the point, yes, obviously this is going to be a very basic level program, and eventually going forward we are going to cover up the higher level, like up to artificial intelligence, deep learning, and all those stuffs, right? So today's our agenda is to understand what are the different types of data available. So to begin with, the types of data, I would say there are only two kind of data types available, and those are broadly classified into continuous data type and discrete data type. Now these are very broader classification of the data types. At a very broad level, there will be further preliminaries to that. There will be further subtypes to that. We will understand all that. But let us understand first these two data types in detail. And of course, after understanding that, in basic statistics as a whole agenda, we are going to learn all these 5 points. So there will be first, second, third, fourth moment business decision, graphical representation, that like bar plot we are going to plot, histogram, box plot. We are going to discuss on probability distribution. What is normal distribution? What is standard normal or Z distribution? What is T distribution, or famously known as student T distribution? What is quantile plot? How sampling happens? What is sampling funnel? What is central limit theorem? What is confidence interval, etc., etc. All these are points to be discussed and covered in basic statistics, and it will be splitted into various videos. So today we are going to discuss, or we are going to understand what are the data types available. And as I said, there are only two different types of data available. One is called as continuous data and one is called as discrete data. Now, what is the difference between continuous data and discrete data? The definition to understand the continuous data is any data if I express, or let me say this, if I any data if I would able to express in decimals. This is a decimals. Then that data is called as a continuous data. Like if I ask you a question, can I express a car as I have 2.5 cars? I cannot. Can I express I have 2.5 laptops? I cannot express in this way, right? So whenever I am able to express any given data into decimal formats, then and then only I will call that data as continuous data. Any data apart from that data is called as discrete data. Any data which I will not be able to express in decimals, and of course if it is not making sense to my knowledge, right? So it has to make, if it is and if it is making sense. How do we decide? We decide with our senses, right? If it is making sense to my knowledge. Right? So any data if I would be able to express in decimals, and if it is making sense to my knowledge, then I will call it as a continuous data. And any data opposite to that, any data if I won't be able to express in decimals, then it is called as discrete data, right? So this is what the definition with the continuous data and a discrete data. Let us see some examples. Now look at this particular picture. After looking at this picture, if the perception is only about the diagram, then it is a discrete, because there is only one wall clock. But if I look at the same image from the perspective of time, then it becomes continuous data. Why? Because I can express 2.45 p.m. I can express 150 hours. I can express the time in decimals. I cannot express the number of wall clocks in decimals. So all three examples given over here, if you see, there are perspective is important. If I am looking at the clock irrespective of the time, then it is discrete. because I am talking about number of clocks. Here also, am I looking at the currency or number of nodes? Here also, am I looking at the measurements or I am looking at the number of scales? If I am looking at number of scales, then there are 4 in numbers. I cannot have 4.5 scales. I cannot have 3.5 scales. Of course, complete scales. But if you look at the measurements on the scales, then they are continuous. If you are looking at the number of scales available on the table, then you are talking about discrete. Right? So this is the classification of continuous and discrete data type. Discrete data type further classified into 3 different subtypes. One is called as count. One is called as 2-class. One is called as multi-class. So this is count discrete. This is 2-class discrete. This is multi-class discrete. Now, what are the examples of these count data type? Count discrete data type? Look at that. You can have 4 laptops. 4 is the number of count. I can have 7 cars. One can have 10 beatings from wife. So we are talking about the counts. So whenever the data is expressed in counts, it is called as a discrete count data type. Okay, it is also known as discrete count data type. Similarly, if I have a 2-class, so as I said, there are 3 different subtypes. One is count, one is 2-class, and one is multi-class. So count we have understood. Now let us understand what is 2-class. So whenever the data is expressed, suppose I have a column named gender. Now in the gender column, I can have male and female. And this is the data given to me. Right? So whenever we get data, we first have to, so obviously I am talking about the structured data, which is also called as a labeled data. So whenever it is a labeled data, it is of course labeled by some column names and the data is given to us. Now if that data belongs to only 2 classes, if that data is carrying only 2 values, so the examples are male or female, pass or fail, up or down, black or white. Only 2 options possible within the data. only two options given or two options has got recorded, or there are only two values available for the particular label, then that particular data will be classified as a discrete with two classes. Discrete with two classes. And what is discrete with multi-class? So there is a possibility when we have the classification colors. So if the column name is talking about colors, so let me get a so one color column is there and this is another color column. Now this is one data sheet and this is another data sheet. Now here the color is mentioned in only black and white. And so on. And here the color is mentioned as blue, green, red, orange, black, white, blue, green, etc. So here the thing is, this particular data sheet having a color column, that is the label color, in the multi-class format. So this data will be called as greater than two classes or multi-class. Now this data is called as two class, because within the column the information stored and can have, that column can have only two values. Here the column can have multiple values, right? The other example of multiple classes is you can say mode of transport. So one can have a car, one can have a car type. So there is hatchback, there is small car, there is medium car, or there is sedan, or there is XUVs, and like that there are categories of type of cars. Or we can have a mode of transport. So we can have a mode of transport with road, air, sea, rail. These are various mode of transports available. So this becomes a multi-class data, right? So whatever we have learned today is, we have learned about the data types, and there are only two types of broader classifications available. One is called as continuous, one is called as discrete. In discrete there are three level further classification available. One is called as a discrete count, one is called as discrete two class, one is called as discrete multi-class. And when we say a continuous data, so whenever we will be able to explain or express the data in decimals, then we call it as a continuous data. So what are the examples of continuous data? All sort of measurements. Whether it is height, weight, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, liters, gallons, age, currency, whether it is rupee or dollar or euro or anything, it isn't. You can express it in decimals, right? Height, you can express it in decimals. Weight, you can express it in decimals, right? Age, you can express it in decimals. So whenever a data type is, if suppose not given in your data sheet in decimals, but of course if you may think on it and we'll find out that whether if I express it in decimals, is it making sense to me? And if it is making sense, then of course it is a continuous data. Otherwise it is a discrete, and within discrete 3 subtypes possible: count, 2 class and multi-class, right? So this is the agenda for today's session. I wanted to make you understand, guys, what are the different types of data available. Okay, and we have discussed about that. I have explained you that, and tomorrow we will see the preliminaries of data types, and we can go or move on further, right? So we will also discuss about going forward, we will discuss about probabilities, we will discuss about what is the random variable, what is probability distribution, etc., etc., right? So as far as today's agenda is concerned, the types of data we have already discussed. I will make a quick recap of on the data types in my next video, and of course with the preliminaries of data types, and then we will discuss about what is random variable and what is probability. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. Okay, if you have really liked this video, please hit the like button for this video on YouTube. If you are new to my channel, subscribe the YouTube channel and hit the bell icon beside it so that you will not miss on any of the new updates coming up from me. And obviously you can also subscribe to my or like to my Facebook page, where is also another platform I have created to express all this stuff and information. So my Facebook page is also available, and yeah, I'm there on LinkedIn as well, right? So in my first introductory slide you must have seen so this is my LinkedIn channel, LinkedIn page. Okay, this is my email ID, this is my WhatsApp number, also contact number, and you can also connect me with my Facebook page. I wish you all the best, and bye bye for now till we meet again. See you. Bye.